Happy freaking New Year, my friends. It's 8:08 in the morning. Eights are one of my magic numbers. I feel inspired by the fact that this is the time when I'm saying these words to you on first day of 2024. Can you believe that nonsense? Those of you who are my age or Gen Z folks and older, remember when we were in like the 1990s and we were like, 2000 is crazy. And now we're 24 years into it. I don't know what, it's too much. I don't even, yep. I have your 3-card spread here, my friends, for the first day of 2024. It's a fun one. It's good. Everything's great. I hope you guys are doing fantastically well. In case you don't make it to the end of this video, Six Line Studios, my new theater company, we are having our first production. I'm very excited. Local playwright Peterson Nachtrieb's show, The Totalitarians, is our first show. It's a political dark comedy. I'm so excited about it. I love my actors. We have 3 out of 4 actors, and we're just filling one role. And it's just been a really fun process. And what I want to say about it is, and then we're going to do your 3-card spread immediately, is I was sharing with a friend this morning that, you know, I'm 46 years old, and it's taken me to this point to really come to feel like what the life I'm living and the choices I'm making really match who I am. Like who I really am. And I credit that to a lot of trauma healing, plus, frankly, human design. That fucking system, I don't care if you're a woo-woo person or not a woo-woo person, human design is not very woo-woo. I mean, kind of is, but man, is it practical. There's so much information about the Katie Rubin animal in my chart that had I not had that map to work with, I don't think I'd be experiencing the level of satisfaction and fulfillment I'm experiencing in my life. And it's because it's too hard. Some of us are too complex and weird and specific to make sense in this world that conditions us all to think there's one way to be, which is like white and wealthy. That's what the world says. But some of us are meant to do very specific things, like the amount of fulfillment I'm getting from like struggling to produce a play. Like, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun, does it? I'm having a blast because it's correct for me. So I say that today, not just to talk about myself, but to hopefully inspire something for some of you, just to say, like, it's more satisfying to be who we each are as true, authentic, individual versions of ourselves than it is to try to live into some picture that the internet shows or that the collective says is a thing. So anyway, here's hoping that today you get to feel like yourself and like there's a path forward for you as you. Because the correct you, living correctly as you, there's so much more success and happiness and fulfillment in that than there is in you trying to live into somebody else's version of reality. Namaste, motherfuckers. In the recent past, we have the magic prayer with this lady's gorgeous hair. Oh my God. The magic prayer has pretty hair. In the present moment, we're moving. There's some kind of movement present. And the outcome is we're going to follow the leader. Once again, remembering that the leader card in this deck is about emulating the people you look up to, but also being the person you want others to look up to. So that's our outcome card. I could talk about that, but let's go back and look at the recent past position is our magic prayer card. Speak your prayers, listen for the answers, act in faith. When you see the magic prayer card, it is a reminder that your prayers will be answered. Spirit is always waiting to help you and to heal you when you're in need. That said, the best prayer is, thy will be done through me, thy will, not mine, be done. I want to say something about that. Thy will be done could sound very antithetical to what I just said, which is be true to yourself, right? Thy will, not mine. Sorry, I'm looking at my own earrings because my sister gave me these for Christmas. Aren't they pretty? I haven't looked at them before. Okay, distracted by my own earrings. So what does thy will, not mine, be done mean? I have found in my life that spirituality is the practice of being ourselves. That's really what it is. But that's so much harder than it sounds like it is, because the world is so strong and so effective at conditioning us to be not ourselves, to fit in, to make money, to have status, whatever. Not that fitting in, making money, and having status are bad. They're great. In fact, we're all looking for those things to certain degrees. But how they arrive in our lives is through being true to ourselves, not through being who we think we should be. Anyway, so the best prayer is thy will be done through me, thy will not mine be done. When I learned this through the 12 steps, that anything that's coming from what they call a character defect, what I'll call it like lower vibrational thinking or lower vibrational energies, fear, judgment, negative thinking, doubt, insecurity, narcissism, arrogance, pride, anything coming from that inside myself is incorrect and takes me off the path of being correctly me. So when I say thy will not mine be done, I'm saying the will of my higher self, which is in alignment with the higher frequencies of the universal flow of what is correct, be done. Not my lower fear-based, narcissistic, arrogant, prideful, insecure, lower self frequencies. So there is a lower self within you and there's a higher self within you. Do you guys know, I've talked about this before, but the lower self is meant to be an engine to support the actions of the higher self. That is to say, we're meant to use like that anger and resistance and negativity and all of that as like fuel. You burn that up in the body in pursuit of the energies of the higher frequency or the higher self. So the higher self says, I could start a theater company and direct this show and we're going to make this happen. And the lower self says, how are you going to do that? And there's so many companies and all the companies are going under and there's no way this is going to work. Negativity, negativity, and negativity. So that energy's in there. I don't want to pretend it's not there because then I start to unconsciously work against it. By the way, that's an important point. Instead, I want to go, okay, I hear you, negativity. Now, I'm heading towards the light. I'm heading toward the positivity. I'm going to use the engine of that negativity just as fuel. I'm not going to listen to the thoughts or listen to the feelings or believe them, but they're in there. So I'm going to use them as fuel to head toward the light, toward the light, toward the light. What is the light? The light is the desires that arise from the character assets, or you could call them the spiritual principles: faith, mercy, compassion, fulfillment, joy. Right? These are the higher frequency principles. So use the energy of the lower frequency: fear, doubt, insecurity, resentment, arrogance, pride, ego, fear. I said that already. To take you closer to the higher frequency energies. Conscious contact with your higher power is achieved through the ritual of prayer and meditation. Speak and listen to the divine force within the field of creation. Surrender your wishes and desires to spirit. You may not get what you want, but you will surely get what you need. I have more to say about that. Your destiny awaits you. As long as you keep in conscious contact with your higher power, be assured that you are on the right path. You may not get what you want, but you will surely get what you need. I wish I could, God, I could talk all day today. I have a lot to say, apparently. I'll use me as an example because we're all listening to me right now, the three of you that are here. I thought for me, what I wanted was to be an actor. It always, and I needed to be an actor for the years I was an actor. There was always a difficulty for me as a generator. There was always a lot of frustration with being an actor. Frustration is the not self theme of the generator. I started to understand that the frustration was not because I was doing something wrong or there was something missing in me. It was because there was a misfit in what I was spending my time with. But I was confused because I love the craft of theater so much. I just couldn't get myself to de-identify with being an actor because I was good at it. And it was the first thing that made me feel good about myself in my whole life. The problem was it just, again, it always felt like square peg, round hole, even though I was good at it. And that's a very confusing thing to have to work through. When you're good at something, but it doesn't feel right, what do you do with that? Well, for me, I had to do a lot of work and a lot of deconditioning, and a lot of processing, and a lot of trauma healing. So this line where she says, you may not get what you want, but you will surely get what you need. See, today I find myself getting what I need, feeling fulfilled and satisfied with the work I'm doing, but it wasn't what my ego and my mind wanted. But now that I'm getting what I need, it turns out what I need is actually what I want. In other words, the first thing you want in the first half of life is usually built on the ego. It's from the ego, or it's from, you could say, your trauma or whatever. If you stay with yourself and work with yourself and get clear and focus on what are the needs I have, as you start to meet your needs, you find out they were actually what your higher self wanted all along. So you're You're not like abandoning getting what you want entirely when you pursue what you need. It's just you're growing up and you're turning into the adult integrated version of yourself who gets what they need. And what they need turns out to be quite fulfilling. Hope that made some sense. Present moment is movement. Card 28. This card always shows up for me in pretty important moments. You are in a time of positive forward motion. This is a time for positive momentum as you come out of a period of restriction. You're in a stage of new adventure and discovery. Excuse me. You may feel compelled to take a trip, change your hair, move your home or business. Regardless, you can't remain where you are anymore. You feel compelled to go forward. No matter what your inquiry, you will see that your dreams take form and doors previously shut begin to open as if by magic. Movement is also a state of mind. The fog lifts and you now know the actions you need to take. This isn't a time for fear. Let it go and move forward. So we're not going to, like I said, we're not going to listen to the fear or the lower frequency voices and feelings. We're going to listen to the higher self and we're going to take that action today, not tomorrow, today. It's the first day of 2024. What better day to take action on your shit that you want to take action on? The outcome is follow the leader. That means, again, remember, be the leader you've always emulated and admired, and at the same time, emulate the people you emulate. So we're looking up to those we admire, and we're also being, to the best of our ability, our higher self as we lead. Every life is a teaching tool for others. Your authenticity and honesty are an example to those around you. You're being called to lead others by example. Your wisdom has been earned as a result of your bravery in the adventure of your life. The experiences of battles won and lost, places discovered, tears shed, and joy revealed have placed you in a unique position to be of service to others. Your suffering has been crystallized into a talisman of wisdom. Now you must share it. By being fully authentic, you'll lead others into the light. You'll be required to divulge some things about your past so you may help someone else. Lead with love. There's another message here as well. Look to those whose great character and accomplishments you admire. Emulate the leaders you respect. You will then in turn have more to offer. To which I would like to say, I said this to a friend the other day. I am building this company that I've just started, Sixth Line Studios. Honestly, like off of the energy and the frequency of one guy. But I know that the energy and the frequency of that one guy is supported by and held up by many, many people. So what do I mean? There's a theater called Capitol Stage in Sacramento. They're my favorite people. They make my favorite work. They're doing creatively and they're being personally what I want to do and who I want to be. So I keep thinking of them as I'm making choices about casting and who I'm hiring to do lighting and stage management. By the way, we need a stage manager. Do you know a good stage manager? Could you send them my way? Because we need them. Also, I need a person of color, ideally, to play a white male in his mid to late 30s who can do dark comedy. Hit me up. Send me some peeps. Okay, so I'm thinking about Capitol Stage and I'm thinking about Michael Stevenson, their artistic director. With every move I make, because I'm certainly not a perfect person, but I have the North Star of how they create work, the quality of the work they make, and how Michael Stevenson treats people. He's a man who embodies kindness and excellence at the same time. And that's what I'm trying to do. Because I've been looking up to him for so long, and that after a while I had to go, what do I admire about him? And can I just be that, please? What if I take it in and become it? And it was the combination of kindness and excellence. The work they make is very high quality and they're good to their people. And that's the deal. That's what I want to do. That's me. What's up? So, any monies that you guys have to contribute toward that end, we need $11,000 more. We've raised $9,000 toward our goal of $20,000. And by the way, this goal of $20,000 is not just an abstract goal. That's literally what it costs to produce a play. At least, I mean, what I'd like to have is 30 to 40 per show. And so we're applying for some grants to give us that. We got our first grant of $5,000. Very proud of that. Thank you. Cash grant through Theater Bay Area. I'll put a link to their stuff here near this video. God, thank you guys for that so much. We're so honored and excited for that. Now we're applying for some bigger grants, but we won't get them for many months. So this first show has to be produced by the generosity of people like yourself just donating. And so I have to keep asking. And I hate it. It's so hard. I feel like the NPR people who are constantly asking us all to give them money, but I get it. It's how the arts work in America. Adele, what's up, my homie? I love you guys. Anything you have after the holidays, I know we're all strapped after the holidays, could help us. Anything, really, truly. And if you have any friends that have like a bunch of money laying around, could you share the GoFundMe with them? It helps us a lot, more than you know. I love you guys. Happy New Year.